cold. Oh, it's freezing. Whew. Holy cow. Scoop of goodies, here we come, guys. Ooh, holy cow! Ooh. It's freezing out there. That wasn't but like a minute. Jeez. There you go, birdos. Got you some goodies. Okay, it looks like we got some visitors to the buffet out there. We'll shut this door before the food gets snowed over because it's snowing fast. Sorry, guys. Get your snacks. Okay, well, since it's freezing, we'll come sip some coffee down here. Oh, yeah. And this was an old project that I think is going to get rebooted, too. That Schwinn may get a 50cc engine or an 80cc engine. Two-stroke. I've done them before. They're fun. Yeah. I've been down here kind of digging through stuff. Yeah, that's my old parts bin. Because I've got some ideas. If you guys can see, I've built many things. I love building stuff from the get-go to the very end. Many projects don't get finished. That's not how I do things. I love to finish projects. I love to get half-done projects, like the mini bike. The mini bike that was just right here. Yeah, that was a half-done project that was not going to get finished until it came here. It got finished. And actually, looking over here on my table, I still need to put some goodies away. This is the last job here I had to do. Got my Motion Pro chain splitter. Went ahead and split the chain, got it laced up. It's all good to go. You know, the bike's outside finished. It's awesome. So, digging through more stuff. And, you know, we've kind of had some ideas. You know, that's kind of why we're here. Wanted to do more outside today, but the snow went ahead and shut that one down. So, yeah. So, let me just kind of show you guys what I've been working on. Because there's always something brewing in my brain. Always. Even at times I don't really want to, but there's something working. And I've just kind of learned to just build it and get it out. And now I film stuff for you guys. And thanks for watching. Thanks for tuning in some Jobe's Out of Town. Let's sip some coffee and show you guys what's next. And it's something cool. And yeah, I even got my wood rims out today. Oh, got my hat on. Yeah, when wood rims go on, we thinking. We deep in thought. These are the ones I can see real close. And I can do this. Yeah. We're still in planning here, guys. And this is really what I wanted to go outside and do today. This is the new gas tank for the chopper that has the petcock on it. So this is going to get installed with the petcock, and it has a, you know, a reserve and a main, so it goes up and down and goes back, and I think it should clear on the frame because it tucks in there real tight. So we're going to see. That's really what I wanted to check, was if this is going to clear on that frame, because the fitting I have in there is real close. So yeah. And then I found this needs to get installed on there too, because it was running just a bit lean when I was wide open throttle, and it wasn't. I can always tell if you're at half throttle and it's pulling good, and you give it wide open throttle and it pulls less, it's too lean. It's getting too much air. And the engine was still running fine, but it was losing power the more I gave it. And the air filter will control that. It still lets some through, but it makes the tune more even, if that makes sense. The carburetor essentially is tuned with the air filter from the get-go. So the more restrictive filter you have, the more fuel you will get. The less restrictive filter you have, the less fuel you will get. So more air, less fuel, less air, more fuel. Does that make sense? The choke, on some older carbs, the choke just restricts all the air. So you get nothing but fuel, which is good for cold startups. You kind of need that. So there's the new carburetors, the newer style. There's a couple of them over here, I think. Well, yeah, I mean, the Honda carbs here, they're a bit different. They use an enrichment style. They don't really close off these don't close off the bores. They use an enrichment that enriches the extra fuel into the system. And, you know, it has the sliders that can completely close the system. And that will really do nothing but flood the bike. So you got to be really careful with those. And really, you close them to about right there, and you're usually good. If you close them all the way, you'll flood it. You'll flood it instantly. So usually you keep those open and just barely restrict a little bit, gas them up, and you're good. And that's why these older carbs were not easy to deal with. Many people had problems with them. I've tuned, I was going to say thousands, but it's way up in the hundreds. I've tuned many banks of those, 4-cylinder carburetors on not just Hondas, Kawasaki, Suzuki's, many Ducati setups with the, 4 carbs on top and a V pattern. Not fun. V45 Hondas with the V pattern, the V engine with 4 carbs on top, 2 facing this way, 2 facing this way. Those not fun. Honda Gold Wings. They're on each side. Oh, it sucks. No fun. Honda Valkyries. No fun. There's 6 of them. Okay, back to work. So, yeah, want to get that finished up, and really we should be good here, because once we restrict that little bit of air and we get the fuel flowing to it, it's all going to be good. It's going to be real good. Yeah. So, the next project. Let me just get you guys tuned in here, and I'll give you a full breakdown as to what's going on here. Let me get a little more sip of this Black Rifle. Okay, guys, got everything somewhat tuned in here. Hope you can kind of see where we're going here. And there may be many questions right from the get-go. I'm not a fan of computers or CNC or really any of that. I have a beautiful blue pen that works great, that I can turn on and off anytime. And a piece of paper that this one I think I paid for, because it's an old bill, but it's the back, essentially free paper to me that, whatever. And tune you guys in here, get you squared up here. Oh, there we go. Okay. So we're going to start here. I know my draw rings are not the best. I do what I can. Let me turn my machine on here. So this, to start, essentially we're going to have, it's going to be let me see. It'll be right about here, you know, in theory. And really, I'm still drawing all this to figure out my parts. I know what I want in my mind, but I need to know, you know, all the parts and details that I need to get figured out, you know, for my front axle, my hairpins, my frame, all my goodies I need to get figured out so I can get my parts diagram figured out, because none of that's been figured out, you know, ahead of time. I'm designing this from scratch. So essentially, we're going to start here. This is the engine, you know, engine, just, you know, spark plug, bow, exhaust, having fun over here. So, belt drive, there, rear sprocket. You know, belt drive is going to be here on this side, or it's kind of in thoughts. I'm just thinking about it right now because this may actually be the other way too. You know, I'm just laying it out in my mind. So, you know, we can change all this when we actually weld up the frame. So, chain is going to come straight back to a jack shaft, which is going to be right here. It's going to be essentially at the bend of the frame where it comes up to go over the rear axle. Rear axle. There's going to be tires here, tire there, tire on the other side, tire here, tire here. Power is going to get sent back through my chain here, up, or, you know, across my jack shaft, spinning, 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 or it's going to be spinning this way. So, across my jack shaft, spinning my chain this way, and then it's going to be coming into the side of my rear end. Let me turn this here a little bit so you guys can get a little better view there. The rear end is going to be a couple pegs here. It's used. You know, we're sorting all this out. Once I figure this out, I can get a brand new one to go in here. So, but this one, good deal. It's local. Guy was taking his apart. He said the diff and rear is in awesome shape. The tires are just covered in mud. But it comes with the tires, the rims, the rear brakes, the diff, the leaf springs, the hangers, the many parts. So yeah, that's good. And then, you know, if this all works out great and we have any problems with that diff, we can get a brand new one to bolt in. So that's not a problem. The front axle up here on the front, I'm kind of wondering too, and I was just looking at parts. It's a Milex rear axle, but that's actually for an Easy Go. You know, many Easy Go golf carts use the Milex parts. So I'm looking at the front axle too. And the front axle, I want to be able to tie in with hairpins because I want this to look like an old hot rod. Not quite like that, but, you know, we're going to do mine a little more fancy. I'm thinking maybe some rear fenders, you know, the tub, you know, cut out with a proper dash. I want a dash with working gauges. Yeah, gauges. So, yeah. And I used to build hot rods, guys. I've welded many Ford custom hot rod frames, chassis. I used to build rolling chassis for customers. They would put their own bodies and goods on them. Half the time they would come back so I could finish them. It was okay. I love seeing them come back. Anything you've ever worked on, it's just good to see it still together. But, you know, that was way back in the day. I did it for several different companies. And, you know, not for myself. I've done other stuff for myself. I've built many cars for myself. Not for myself, for my own business, for customers, you know. I've never been able to afford a car for myself. I've always built race bikes, old Hondas, because they're kind of cheap and I can really get into them and do whatever I want. It's okay. I can put a whole new engine in. It's really why all of this is happening. Yeah, I'm eventually getting everything all laid out. Yeah, that's just trash. So never mind the trash. But this table and all of this arrangement is going to be used for something totally different. So, yeah. It was supposed to be happening, but kind of everything got put on hold because of this weather. The new engine is getting built right here. It's going to be a CB 862 high boost race engine. Low compression, lots of boost, a big gnarly camshaft. It's the engine we started with that I kind of did some of the tuning with from the get-go, and then realized I needed, just more stuff because that engine first gear is broken. It's coming apart right here, 100%. We're tearing the cases apart. We're figuring out what's up with that gear set and getting it fixed. Right here. Can't wait. The mini bike was just because I found the parts, and but we're going to build way more mini bikes down here too, because I can't wait. I'm ready. But okay, back to here. Okay, so up here on the front end, looking at the E-Z-Go parts for the back, I can get an E-Z-Go front axle that is actually a good axle that has the good hairpin, that has the good spindles. I can use the good spindles on it, and I can make my own hairpin mounts because it's set up for leaf springs, and I may be able to use the leaf spring mount here, be able to move the mount and have a leaf spring that comes back to my chassis on each side. I haven't really figured out the front suspension, or what's going to hold it up. The suspension is going to be the hairpins. That's going to locate it, and I may have the stubby leaf spring coming out of the bottom of the frame that will support the axle from the bottom and kind of be hidden, because I want to have, this is a steering box that's actually for a go-kart. So I can have the steering box in the middle with arms that go out to the side, so I can have suspension that goes up and down, and that should work great. And I can be able to put the steering shaft back to wherever we put the tub. And I want to kind of build the frame like this, because let me just kind of, it's going to be kind of like that. This will be the wheelbarrow tub. So the wheelbarrow tub will be on the back that I'm going to sit in. There will be a seat right here in the wheelbarrow tub, and I want to find a nice tub. So I want to try and find a steel one so I can cut the front off, and actually you cut the front of the tub, you rotate it up to where it has a front end dash, and then I can put a dash panel in, and I think it's going to look pretty cool, because I'm going to have the engine up here with the turbocharger sticking off the front, and it'll all be open because I don't really need a radiator or a cooling system. So I may put like a radiator hoop, just to be able to have like some support bars that come back. And then I'll have some support bars that come back to the front of my tub, to my dashboard, essentially. The bottom of the tub the frame will be fit to the bottom of the tub. The tub will come up over the back, and that's why my chain drive will come straight back. Let me move this forward back here. It'll come straight back under the tub, and then pitch up where the tub comes up in the back. The chain will pitch up behind the tub. So really the chain drive will be hidden under the tub, and it should, it'll be safe because the chain won't be out exposed at all. And I think the rear diff, depending on the angle here of what the motor drive is, I think that's going to be good too. So once again, I just need to get it all laid out and figured out. And that's what all this is for. The engine stuff is going to get moved down here so that I can custom build this frame outside, because it's going to need lots of cutting and welding and fabrication. That happens outside. It's nice because I can kind of separate things now. This is going to become the very clean, coffee sipping engine building shop. Or, final assembly. It's what I did down here with the mini bike. Did the welding and fab at Jerry's shop because my shop is full. And he did the powder coat for me too, which was phenomenal. And all is good there. That engine's going right here. And we're going to bust it down. That's why I got lots of light here now so I can see what's going on. And it's going to be good. I'm ready. We just need to get it moved down here. Once this snow gets cleared up, my buddy's going to come over. He's going to help move down here, and it's going to be good. So, yeah, I was thinking about getting a dolly and strapping it to the dolly and try and get it down here, but now everything's covered in snow. So, okay. Glad we didn't do that. And, yeah. I need to go make some more coffee. Like, share, and subscribe. Do all the things out there that make the world happy. Tell your buddy we're about to build something really cool because I've built enough mini bikes. I kind of want to get back to chilling in a cool go-kart, which I've done lots of times too. My daughter and I loved racing go-karts. She grew up in a go-kart because she wanted to see me race it. I said, okay, let's go. And she was always my co-pilot. She was my rally driver. She'd point my path. Oh, I loved it. I kind of miss it a lot, guys. Yeah, we're going to build this hot rod, take it to the track, have some fun. It's going to be turbocharged. It's going to be cool. It's probably going to do a burnout. And it's going to look like a 32 Ford. I might even try and figure out how to put a roof on it. It may be really difficult because my fat butt can't get in there with a roof on it, but it may be a Carson top that is removable. That's going to be super sweet. Way more to come, guys. When in doubt, figure it out. Trooper sets free. Kickstands up. Let's ride. On a go-kart. Let's see if Birdo's got a snack. Oh, they're out there snacking. Oh, it's about to get covered in snow. Oh, and I'm scaring them off.